afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to the return of the Hour of Power. The defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. That is right. The Hour of Power era has returned on the defining moment. And what does that mean? That means I will be giving you one full, non-stop, action-packed, wall-to-wall hour of sports from beginning to end. Yes, it has returned. We're going to have ourselves some fun today. We'll get a little more into detail on that in a few moments. But my gosh, was this not a crazy weekend in sports? Seriously, this was awesome. First things first, how about that fight on Saturday, y'all? Tyson Fury is the man. Such a huge victory for the big man. I'll tell you what, he certainly earned every bit of that victory. Also, how about Florida? That's right, the Florida Gators will sweep Miami. Number 10 takes down number 7 in baseball. I'll tell you, this Florida team is up and rising. They are ready to rock and roll, and I can see them in the College World Series. I don't care if it's only week 2. They're looking strong. Also, we had a plethora, and I'm talking about plethora of upsets this past weekend. My gosh, you cannot... I mean, I tripped out on the amount of upsets this weekend. The first one being my LA Wildcats getting that beautiful victory over the DC Defenders. I was tripped out. I didn't even think that after the first 2 weeks that we're capable of pulling something like that off. Well, I'm proud of this team, I'll tell you that. Also, we had quite the upset in volleyball, men's volleyball this weekend. UCLA continues to struggle, having a very awkward year. GCU out of the WAC. I know them. I'm a CBU fan. We both play in the WAC. Well, guess what? They would upset UCLA this weekend. Talk about a strange upset there. Continuing on, how about another upset? I mean, seriously, y'all. Can we count these things? We had so many upsets this weekend. And I'll tell you, the next one, you know what? I think I'll save them. I think I'll save some more upsets for this coming week. But I want to tell you right now, those Los Angeles Lakers. Oh, yes. Talking about a big victory there over the Celtics this past weekend. Very proud of my Lakers in what was an incredible possible playoff preview. I'll tell you that. Also, we have in Vegas, Logano pulls off quite the victory. And my gosh, if it would have just gone green the entire end of the race, it would have been great. But ends on a caution, whatever. Good game regardless. Also, talk about upsets. Okay, I gotta mention at least this one, y'all, because my beloved CBU Lancers, we knocked off UCR last night for our first time in D1 history. Game 3, the rubber match coming up tonight. I will be there at UCR. Also, talking plenty more in sports, y'all. I mean, seriously, there's more sports than you can shake a stick at, y'all. Coming up, XFL coming your way, as well as college lacrosse, and plenty more. You are listening to the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. Welcome, sports fans. Well, I'll tell you, this has been quite the weekend. As I always say, y'all, big ups to the man above. That's right, y'all. All glory to God, to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, nothing is possible. And of course, big ups and thank you to all of you out there showing love, man. Y'all, appreciate y'all so much. As I always say, without y'all, IE Sports Radio wouldn't be nothing, y'all. So we really appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get to it, man. We have so many sports to get into this past week. I mean, literally, I'm going to try and go over the week. But we have had a wild one. My gosh, it has been a crazy week in sports. And, I mean, where do we even begin? Okay. Let's just, before I overwhelm everybody, let's just get on into a little bit of XFL news. So first things first, I just want to say, I don't care, applause button is going to be overused today. How about them Wildcats? That's right. My gosh. What a damn game. I honestly thought, I did not think we were going to win that game personally, because DC has smacked everybody so far, including the Guardians, in a Week 2 game that was just supposed to be a monstrous game, at least in my opinion, from week number 1. But this was just an incredible game. We looked really, really, really good. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. Johnson looked really good yesterday, 18 for 25. He had, 3 touchdowns thrown. I mean, seriously, this was a great game. Carter racked up 2 touchdowns on the ground. Rose picked up 1 on the ground as well. And Carter also picked up 1 receiving. I mean, we looked really, 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 really good. Dixon with a team leading, actually tied with Williams. Dixon and Williams both tied with 8 total tackles, man. So I really like that. You can see these guys are flying around the field. My boy Will Smith got some action out of RCC. Big shout out to him, man. Played at Texas Tech and played with him back in 2011. He racked up 3 total touchdowns. I'm sorry, 3. I bet you he wishes he could have that. No, but 3 total tackles and 1 assist and 1 actually, no, sorry. I was looking at Springs. I was like, man, I missed that. I was actually at the CBU UCR game. But man, what a freaking game. I'm so proud of the LA Wildcats right now. And honestly, this is why, this is kind of funny, because you gotta love, like, the smart-ass mentality of some of these, like, Twitter accounts, because they really don't care. I love how the Wildcats retweeted. It was hilarious, because I just wanted to point this out. The DC Defenders back on the 17th posted up a little, like, a banner of their own that says Cardale Jones undefeated as a starter, and it says 13-0. And then the Wildcats found that and retweeted it with a quote, and then put 13-1 with a little asterisk next to it, like, correcting their mistake, and then put fixed it for you with a little upside down smile. That's some a-hole stuff right there, man. I can say it, but I love it. I mean, these guys are funny. These cats get it. They're funny. But, man, this was a really good football game. I am so impressed with that game. And very, very excited for what's to come. So hopefully we get something nice coming. I really, really do. So, okay, next up, my gosh, the chat room is bumping. Okay, let's get over there real quick so we can move on to the next. But, what's going on, Sarah? Good to see you, brother. And, yeah, man, I have so many errors, it's not even funny. Let's see, stop even referring to the era, the old school Hour of Power era. What's going on, Gabriel? Good to see you, brother. I'll be talking some UEFA Champions League right now. As a matter of fact, we're going to get into that momentarily. And, let's see. And, yeah, we got the upset meter going on. There's another one. So, alright. Yeah, Taryn, tell me how many times I've said, upset in this show. Go ahead, tell me, because I'm going to be saying it a lot. There were so many upsets, man. There were more upsets in this show than... there was more upsets this week than... I don't know. That's a good one. Then people were upset at the Star Wars last December. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but people were not too happy with it from what I understand. But anyway, all right. So what's going on? Keep the chat room going on. I'm loving this, man. Let's see here. The team was smashing Bud Light seltzers in the locker room. I'm sorry, but this is funny. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get on into a little bit more from this past weekend. All right, so in the XFL this past weekend, we had a pretty dang good week. Okay, starting things off here, the Vipers, they look like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They smell like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're not the same colors of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they look and play a lot like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Regardless, they won a game. They almost won a game versus a very good team and gave them one hell of a fight. The Roughnecks came to town, really fought them well. 34-17 final score in this game. Regardless, the Roughnecks looked really strong. I would love to spend more time on this, but you will get plenty more of this tomorrow on Goal Line Stand. But short and sweet Diet Coke version, Roughnecks came to town. They came, they saw, they conquered. Really good game, 34-27. Over the Vipers in this game. Vipers now dropped to 0-3. Their playoff chances are looking really grim at the moment. And, that's, like I said, they're doing their best Tampa Bay Buccaneers impression right now, and it's kind of sad to say. But hey, also I saw this morning on Twitter. Go ahead and follow the new 3 and Out Twitter, by the way, at 3IER. And I saw that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are getting new uniforms, and they're going to reveal them in April. So I really hope that they go back to the 50-50 bar look with that orange color. That was sweet. I loved it. The Flintstone push-up 50-50 bar look. But if they don't, whatever. I'm just saying, like, I really liked, maybe they can incorporate that. Maybe with the new style. Actually, those colors wouldn't really match, but whatever. I don't care. But it should be pretty sweet. Anyway, on top of that, the Renegades will go to Seattle. Seattle has, like, this amazingly good fan base, as you always know they would, with the Seattle Seahawks and with the Sounders, and they're just a damn good fan base. Regardless, the Renegades are showing how good they really are. This Renegades team, honestly, man, I don't know. I'm rolling with the Battlehawks. I still want the Battlehawks to win this year. I still think they're the best team. But these Renegades, man, they have so much freaking firepower. Looked pretty good against the Seattle team, 24-12. On the road on Saturday. And then on to Sunday. The Battlehawks did exactly what I thought the Battlehawks would do. The Guardians are looking way worse every week. That's all there is to it. The Guardians looked good in week number 1. Week 2, they got smashed by the Defenders. And week 3, they got smashed by the Battlehawks, 29-9. And I'll tell you what, those people in St. Louis are happy to have their football back, and they have a very good team who I think is going to win it all this year. So anyway, and then of course on to the final game of week number 3. The Wildcats just dismantling the DC Defenders, 39-9. Good job, y'all. Coming up this week, LA will head on over to New York to take on the Guardians on Saturday, as well as the Dragons heading on over to take on the Battlehawks on Saturday as well. Then on Sunday, the Roughnecks take on the Renegades, and that's a Texas matchup there, and those two teams are definitely tough teams, both of them, so that's going to be a very good football game. And then the Defenders head on down to Tampa Bay to take on the Vipers. Can the Vipers get their first win of the victory, or will the DC Defenders redeem themselves? We shall see. Next up, let's go ahead and jump on in. Well, let's go back to the chat room because, man, that thing is moving. So I appreciate y'all jumping in here, and Gabriel and Taryn are having quite the conversation. And yes, I am not a Star Wars fan, Gabriel, and I probably won't ever be. Ever. Sorry. Sports just take every void, basically. Like, that's all there is to it. Sorry, dude. But, let's see here. Freaking Gabriel, the Vipers. That's freaking sweet. But yeah, man, so Gabriel is literally enunciating every one of these teams in the chat room, and I love it. And yes, Taryn is absolutely right. The Guardians are looking like the Jets. Yes. And I can't wait for the first ever. I cannot wait either, Gabriel. I've been waiting for a freaking overtime in the XFL. It's going to mimic penalty kicks in soccer. It's going to mimic the shootout in hockey. I mean, I cannot wait for that. Just in case you guys haven't known yet, Team A's offense versus Team B's defense is going to be in one end zone, and then the other end zone is going to be Team B's offense versus Team A's defense in the other end zone, and they're literally just going to go one play, and try and match each other, and that is overtime, and that's going to be freaking sweet. And I really hope that, I think they have to stay within a certain score range, and then if they pass 5 rounds, they get to like singles, which I kind of still trying to grip how that works, but I don't care. I want to see it. So anyway, next up, oh my gosh, so. Alright, let's get on over now into, I'm just going to go completely, how about this, y'all? For the next 45 minutes, it's going to be completely scatterbrained. I am so excited for this, I don't even care. So up in this week, let's go ahead and jump on into the UEFA Champions League, y'all, because last Sunday, okay, well, actually, Man U didn't play, but last Sunday, I just want to give a shout out to Man U. I know that, Gabriel in the chat room was a big fan of theirs, and they just knocked off Chelsea 2-0 last week, so on the road. So big ups to Man U. They haven't had the best season, but hopefully they can up and come for this coming week. Oh, well, every week until then, because right now, man, Liverpool is running away. Speaking of Liverpool, they would take on Atletico Madrid this past week in the round of 16. And, well, ask them how that worked out. They would have a big fat 1-0 loss. And it sucks for them because, I mean, these legs are tough, man. Like, they were on the road, so of course they're going to have the home crowd behind them next week, or when they play again next month, I believe, or whenever that is. But big loss for them on the road. And speaking of the other UEFA Champions League game, PSG will then take on Borussia Dortmund. And Dortmund, man, how about this? 2-1. They'll take down the mighty PSG, who just happens to run away with Ligue 1 every single year, which, it's kind of what they do. But Dortmund getting off to a nice victory here. Those will now shift over. Liverpool will host the next game, and PSG will also host the next game. And then moving on over, I gotta say this right now, man, the CONCACAF Champions League, seriously, Gabriel Montoya made me so sad a couple years ago, like, telling me, like, yeah, dude, like, I was like, yeah, I hope that the CONCACAF Champions League gets bigger, we deserve it, this is the Americas, I really want it to be better, we have all of these awesome teams, and this and that, and Gabriel was like, dude, it sucks, trust me, and I was like, no, and then he, like, tagged me in, like, this, like, completely dimly lit stadium, and Gabriel was like, yeah, this is why it's not popular. And I was like, thank you, Gabriel, thank you so much for just, destroying my hype up of the CONCACAF Champions League. But regardless, I'm still going to cheer it on. So the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League round of 16 is underway. This last past week here, we had Cruz Azul taking on Portmore United, where, of course, Cruz Azul will get that victory. And I'm not trying to say, like, of course, but I mean, they've been a good team for a very long time in Liga MX. And 2-1 victory they will get. Then moving on here, we also had, let's see here, CD Montagua will take on Atlanta United FC. Of course, we know them a little well. And that would actually end in a 1-1 draw. Then Leon will, LAFC will take on Leon. And, well, that game would end up, I did not think it would end up this way. I'm pretty sure Gabriel is happy about this result. I'm trying not to be a hater right now, but good job, Leon. 2-0 over LAFC. What does that say about Leon? What does that say about Liga MX? What does that say about the MLS? I'm going to say, Leon is one of the better teams right now in Liga MX, but LAFC is supposed to be this big old powerhouse now. They're, like, super high off of their victory. I'm just saying, they're super excited off of their high, or they're super high off of their victory over the Galaxy, a beat-down Galaxy team, but whatever. It's a win's a win, I guess, right? But, okay, so, yeah, these two are going over the overtime rules in the chat room. Awesome. Gabriel says it's getting better there. Thank you, it is. But some of these leagues, I know, Gabriel, this is all MLS teams in a good spot except LAFC. They will probably lose, and they did. And Gabriel says it should have been 6-0 Leon. 6-0 Leon. This is preseason for MLS teams, though. And it is. It really is. So, yeah, the season doesn't officially start, I think, until this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So, I'm ready for that. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun this year in the MLS. And, well, no Zlatan. He's going over to AC Milan, where he loses to Inter Milan. I'm sorry, Gabriel. Anyway, so it is what it is. But Chicharito, I'm really excited. I mean, we have a very good, I don't know, the Gabriels. The Galaxy has a stout team. I mean, it's frustrating every year. It is very, very, very frustrating last couple of seasons. But you know what? I am really excited for what we have. What we have moving forward. Like I said, Chicharito is a big signing, so really excited for that moving forward. And let's see here. Yeah, Gabriel, they haven't played since like October. Yeah, I know. And yes, the Gabriels. Yes, that should just be a freaking team. Okay, the Long Beach Gabriels. The Liga MX is in mid-season form. And yes, they are mid-season form, I know. But I'm just trying to give LAFC a hard time. Okay, Gabriel? Can you give me that? Thank you. Anyway, so in the next day in the UEFA Champions League, Atalanta will defeat Valencia. Actually, I am wrong. Yes, no, never mind. Yeah, Atalanta will lay the smackdown, man. 4-1, just obliterating Valencia, which makes me even wonder if Valencia is even going to fight back in this next game, because they're going to be on the road. That's pretty nasty. Atalanta, though, one of the better teams in Serie A, so very big victory there. Also, Tottenham Hotspur and Red Bull Leipzig, a very anticipated game. I thought this was going to be a very, very, very good matchup here, and it was. Leipzig will manage to get the only goal of the game, winning that game, and next up, they will head on back home, so that just kind of makes me feel like Tottenham is kind of done. But you never know. But hey, I'll tell you, when the home crowd is behind you. So, also this week, going back to the Champions League, we had Tigres, UNL, Los Tigres, taking on Alianza FC, and this game would be kind of a shocker, because I don't really know Alianza, I don't know. But Los Tigres, I would expect more out of them than they lost. So, 2-1 victory there for Alianza FC. Nice victory there. And then Saprissa, a team that you always see in the Champions League, because apparently they're the only team in Costa Rica. I'm just kidding. But they will take on the Montreal Impact. And, well,
that game would end as it started, guess with goals involved. 2-2 in that game right there. So really exciting stuff in the CONCACAF Champions League, and I'm really, really excited for what's coming. So, that is the current title, that's the current look at the moment. And let's see here, if Estadio Mane, how do you say that? Estadio Mane? doesn't play for Liverpool in the return leg, they will lose to Atletico Madrid. Good call, which that would be kind of crappy because Liverpool's like pulling away with the Premier League. So, just saying. Atalanta plays at San Siro too. Oh, cool! I didn't know that. Well, everyone plays there apparently. And Gabriel says here, don't count out Jose Mourinho teams in the UCL Spurs. Oh, sorry. Forgive me, Gabriel. Forgive me for counting out the Spurs because Red Bull Leipzig looks pretty damn good right now. I'm just saying, if they win, they win, okay? If Tottenham wins, they win. Awesome. But I'm definitely not going to count out the Red Bulls, man. They came out guns a-blazing, so they look pretty damn good. Also, from this past week in sports, we had some pretty good stuff around the way with some basketball. So let's go ahead and slowly try. I'm going to be everywhere. It's scatterbrain time today, y'all. I'm literally going to go everywhere, all over the place. So stay tuned because we're going to be in one subject and go to the next and then come back to it and go all of it. This is the hour of power of sports. Yes, you don't even understand it until you've gone through it. So enjoy. Here we go. So also a couple days ago, we had this past week in the Big East. Number 21 Butler will take on number 16 Seton Hall. Well, guess what? Seton Hall was like, nah, homeboy, not in my house. What a big victory, man. 74-72, and this was a freaking buzzer beater from what I understand, so big ups to Seton Hall. I look forward to seeing them in the tournament this year. I really do. They look like a pretty damn strong team. Maybe not to go all the way, but they look pretty good. Also this week, we had a nice little hockey matchup here. I thought this would be a good matchup, and it really kind of wasn't. I'm sorry, it really was. There was one that I was kind of disappointed in, but the Bruins took on the Oilers in what would turn out to be a 2-1 victory for the Bruins in overtime. How do you like that crap, man? The Bruins are continuing to be one of the strongest teams in the NHL. And personally, I just want to tell y'all right now, man, these Bruins, these Bruins are looking better by the week. They have now taken a 5-point lead after this weekend in the Atlantic. They're leading 90 points right now in the Atlantic, and I think that they have the most points overall. They do. They have the most points in the entire league right now. They're 39-12, and they're pretty damn good. So this is a good team right now after 63 games. 39-12-12, and this is exciting. Like, seriously, this is exciting. Last year, they're pretty pissed off. They could have won it, and they didn't. So, I'm just saying, they have a very good chance this year. Oh, forgive me, Gabriel. Yes, I understand. He is a Brasileño, because you can tell by that N-H-O in his name. Sadio Mane. Sorry. And then, Jose Mourinho. I get it. Gabriel, I get it. So, anyway, with that said, there you go, Gabriel. Darren's tuning in also to the weekend wrap up over there. Hey, good job, man. Good stuff there with Ben Sutter III. So, anyway, check him as well, y'all. Plenty of great stuff, man, with Ben Sutter III. So, next up, let's go ahead and get on in. As I mentioned, I already got a little bit of hockey there. So, let's go ahead and just go down the list real fast of the standings. Actually, not really the standings, but we actually have one team eliminated already. Sorry. I can't wait to hear Caitlin's rant on this, but the Detroit Red Wings have been officially eliminated from playoff contention, and they are the only team to be eliminated this early. Sorry, Caitlin. My Ducks are coming soon, and the Kings, they're going to be eliminated soon, too, so I'm just saying. And the Sharks that everyone thought was going to be big and bad, they're also going to be on their way out. The Minnesota Wild, as well as Chicago Blackhawks, who used to run the Central like 5 years ago, are going to be eliminated. You'll see. And I feel bad for my buddy, Mr. Pierre Moss, because those New York Rangers are going to be out pretty soon, as well as those New Jersey Devils. Big shout out to Felicia, one of our super fans here on IA Sports Radio. So, yeah, those are the teams who are kind of womp. You understand that. But, Terrence says here the Dead Wings, and they are anything but competitive right now. So, anyway, let's get on back to the feed. and talk a little bit of NCAA volleyball. So this past weekend, UCLA has been anything but impressive. You can hear all about that with Taryn on Set Point coming up tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and he has been all over UCLA this year. Yes, they defeated USC a couple weeks ago, 3-1, or last weekend. But guess what? This past weekend, they just got served again, man. UCSB, I mean, of course, they're the number 3 team in the country. They will defeat number 8, UC Santa Barbara. I'm sorry, number 3, of course, UCSB will defeat number 8 UCLA 3-0. Yeah! How you like that? Okay, the number 8 team couldn't even get a freaking set on the number 3 team. That is how potent UCSB is? Or maybe not. Maybe that's just how good, how bad UCLA is kind of playing. They've been up and down. They're a freaking roller coaster this year. I'm sorry not to bash on UCLA fight on, but I will say right now that this Santa Barbara team, man, how about that Santa Barbara team? I mean, seriously, they have had some very, 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 very good teams in the last couple of years, and I'll tell you right now, I'm excited to see them try and make a push in that tournament. Of course, we know that tournament is teeny tiny. We all know that. That is a very small tournament. It's like, 8 teams? But honestly, it should be really fun to see if this team can pull it off. I don't even know the last time. Taryn, tell me the last time Santa Barbara won, because I'm pulling for these cats right now. Like, I really am. This is going to be really exciting to see what they can do this year, and I really, really, really want to see Santa Barbara make a strong push. So right now, as of last week, I haven't updated this yet, but last week's top 15, from 15 to 11, George Mason, Purdue, Fort Wayne, Grand Canyon, who also knocked off UCLA this weekend, upset alert, and Stanford and Princeton. We actually got to talk some basketball there in a little bit. From 10 to 6, UC San Diego, Penn State, UCLA, UC Irvine, and Pepperdine. And apparently Pepperdine and UC Irvine are tied for 6th. And then your current top 5, Lewis, Long Beach State, Taryn's Beach, as well as Gabriel. They both go to the same school, the Beach. UC Santa Barbara, BYU, and number 1, Hawaii, which I don't know if anybody's going to overtake Hawaii because they're pretty damn good. So let's see here what Taryn's got to say. He says, this is arguably UCSB's best men's volleyball team in quite some time, but can they beat Long Beach and Hawaii? I'm pretty much not going to... Yeah, I don't... And Taryn, you switch your shows around like freaking socks, dude, so my apologies. So Taryn says, actually, the new time is 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Yes, I know I switched my shows around too, but yes, okay. Sorry there, Taryn, but yes, that is his new time, y'all, on Tuesdays. Anyway, with that said, he says, yeah, so I honestly not quite sure if Long Beach will be taken down by UCSB this year, but honestly, with the way Hawaii has been playing, I'm gonna say that they're not gonna go 3 years straight. My bad, Long Beach, but I just really want to see a little shakeup. But if Long Beach State does it, this is crazy, y'all. If Long Beach State, okay, so they won their first one in 1990. Okay, a little bit of history here for you diehard volleyball fans, and of course, Taryn already knows this. But 1990, okay, is the last time that they won. Okay, guess what? Last year and the year before that, they won it 2 times in a row. So what does that mean? What does that mean? This would be 3 years in a row. And I don't know if there's ever been a team to do it 3 years in a row, but it would be pretty freaking sweet to see it. So they've gone back-to-back already, but can they get another one? We shall see. So, yes, Taryn, I know, brother. I know. I'm just messing with you, man. It's busy. Yeah, same here, man. A Masters and all this craziness. Yeah, I think I found a nice little home right here on Mondays for this show, but we shall see. But, yeah, I understand. Yeah, Taryn is a undergrad student. Gabriel's a master's student, and I'm a master's student as well. So, yeah, grad school, regular school, all kinds of school, y'all. Don't even know. So lots and lots of things to digest there. So all these shows are on the back burner, but we still do our best to deliver them each and every week. So yeah, he says Ellen Knipe is a coaching force for Long Beach State, and I'll tell you right now, they're a strong, tough team. But can they take down Hawaii? I really hope we see that in the final this year. I really, really do. So, okay, so excuse me. Also, as I mentioned, in volleyball this past weekend, Grand Canyon, number 13, upsets number 8 UCLA, 3-1. Seriously, guys, I want to know how far UCLA will fall. I don't even know. I mean, I don't think they'll fall the top 15, but I don't think that they'll be near it. I mean, I don't think that they'll be in the top 10. I mean, seriously, how do you lose? How do you get 2 losses like that? You can't even put up a set against the number 3 team in the nation, and you're number 8. So you can at least get a set, and then you fall to the number 13 team. I'm just saying, UCLA falling to 11, 12, what? Anyway, with that said, let's move it on here and talk a little bit of softball, because we have had some damn good softball games this last past weekend, man. I'm loving it because this is the first 2 weeks, all the tournaments, you guys understand, the tournament thing going on, and I love it because we have all those different invitationals. You get to see number 1 versus number 2, maybe. You get to see number 3 versus number 4. You get to see all these mixtures and concoctions of teams, and they don't play series. They're just playing single games, so it's like they get a piece of each other before they move on to, like, the big regular season. And this last past week, we had a pretty good game here. Number 24, Mississippi State, Hale State, taking on number 17, Oregon. And number 17, Oregon, continues to show why I think they're going to make that big push towards the top again. They looked really good, 7-2. They put up 7 runs. They looked very good in this game. And I honestly think Oregon, 2 years ago, was like in the top 5. And last year, I think they were pretty close to that as well. So I think they're going to be making a big push there. Also, this last past week, the Penguins. So let's go ahead and revisit. I told you, we're going to be everywhere, y'all. So moving back to the NHL, this was like, what the F? Because the Penguins have been leaps and bounds, like, in the last couple of years. They've been up and down, like, but pretty damn good consistently. And they're currently sitting in second place overall behind the mighty Ovechkins, if you will. The all caps, the Capitals. But they're currently in second place with 80 points, 2 points behind Washington. So right now, they're so up and down because I love their schedule. They have nothing but extremely difficult teams. There are no cupcakes on the schedule. I mean, I know it's not something that, like, you can pick out like Alabama does. Picking FCS schools. But, yeah, I mean, their schedule is generated, by the league. And the Maple Leafs, I love this because you get this kind of fluctuation when you play good teams constantly, because you have your good runs and then your runs that are like, gosh damn it. Because Toronto served them up a nice big loss, man, 4-0 a couple days ago. Or last week, and it was in Toronto, and yeah, it's kind of a reality check for the Penguins. The Penguins have been very good all season long, but the Maple Leafs will give them quite the beatdown. Also, in the NHL, another big game as well. The Lightning take on the Golden Knights, and right now, the Lightning is kind of annoying me right now because they're so damn good, yet they're not good enough to take out Boston. Like I said, they're 5 points behind right now. They are 85 points, 5 points behind Boston. And the Golden Knights are trying to cling on to any win they can get, because though they are leading by 3 points in the Pacific, this is a very competitive division right now. It is very close. I mean, from first to fourth, it's only a 6-point jump. So, I mean, the majority of leagues right now, of conferences like this, are like this right now in the NHL. But Edmonton has been on fire. Vancouver has been surprisingly good. And the Flames, you cannot count out the Flames. From there down, Arizona, they were kind of good. And then after that, you have the drop-off. San Jose, the California teams just fell off. Okay. San Jose, Anaheim, and Los Angeles. But I'll tell you right now, Vegas is trying their damnedest. This has been a great season for these guys, and after facing the Lightning to come out with a victory like they did, 5-3, very big victory there for the Lightning. For the Golden Knights at home. So I really thought that was a huge victory there for this team, and that is more likely it's a confidence booster too for these guys, because you can see the passion of these players. They really want to bring that title to Vegas. Who will be the first one to bring a title to Vegas? Definitely not the Raiders. I'm sorry that I say that out loud. If they do, they do. But I'm just saying, I don't know. The Aces, maybe. I mean, just saying. But, yeah, when are we going to get a baseball team there? I would love a baseball team in Vegas as well as a basketball team. I think we need both there. But why not just turn it into a multi-sports? But anyway, also, moving back, I told you, we're going to be everywhere, y'all. Moving back to men's basketball in the Big Ten this last past week. Number 25, Ohio State will knock off number 20, Iowa. How about this here? Actually, I'm sorry. No, I was the opposite way. This is actually a pretty good game. Reason being because it was pretty close the entire way. Iowa kind of had the upper hand, 85-76. Nice victory there for the Hawkeyes. And really looking at this Hawkeyes team right now, That should bump them up a little bit here in the standings. But overall, I mean, the Hawkeyes have really shown to be one of the more finicky teams because you can't really pinpoint these guys. I mean, seriously, they move the ball so damn well. So you can't really ask for a better performance out of these guys week in and week out because really, I mean, I know they're taking their licks. They right now are currently 19-8, but really they have shown a lot this season. Okay, and right now in the Big Ten, they are currently third place. They are overall 19-8, and then in the division or in the conference, they're third at 10-6. Just below Penn State and Maryland. So, I mean, they're tied. They basically have the same record in the conference, but they're one game back, though, in the overall from Penn State, regardless of their both 10-6 record. And then you have Maryland, who's currently 12-4 in the conference, and then with an overall record of 22-5. So, really, this is a tough. The Big Ten is very tough, but really big one there for Iowa. And Ohio State, they're just kind of drowning right now. It's kind of sad because they usually have decent teams. What was that guy's name? Gray? I forgot, but Curry, I forgot. He was a really good defender a couple years back for Iowa. And then Solinger, for Ohio State, and then remember Solinger as well. But this has just been a very, very tough year overall for Ohio State, as well as just, I don't know. Last Thursday, they had a tough go versus Iowa, and it's like they just can't seem to get together. 17-9 on the season. They're currently 25, but I think they're going to drop out of the top 25. Which really sucks because I would love for them to stay. But regardless, they just haven't had the best go, guys. Seriously, Buckeye fans, I know it's not easy, but they're way down in the Big Ten right now. They are 5th from the bottom, so 8-8 overall in the Big Ten. Really tough go for these guys this year, and hopefully it gets better left next year. So, also, in NCAA basketball news, it has been a show, y'all. How about the San Diego State Aztecs, man? This team has been undefeated until Saturday. This was a kick in the nuts. I mean, seriously, I'm a big SDSU fan. This is a rivalry, y'all. This has always been a rivalry. UNLV, San Diego State. These two teams have been rivals for a very long time in the Mountain West, and leave it to the freaking Rebels to be the team to end San Diego State's streak. I mean, seriously, I think they had the all-time longest streak, or one of the longest streaks ever in NCAA history, and what do you know, the gosh damn Rebels pulled this thing off, man, 66-63. I'm just saying, this guy, man, Elijah Mintro Long, man, 19 points. What a job. He was 5 for 12 from the field, and free throws went 7 for 9, total of 19 points. Malachi Flynn, by the way, a guy who has been dominant all season long for San Diego State. He did look pretty well, 24 points, 7 for 19 of the from the field, and then free throws, 6 for 6. Wasn't enough, though. This team looked great. They were poised. They're ready to go. And UNLV, man, congratulations. They will be the giant killers, man. UNLV will go to 15-14 on the season. They just broke 500. And they just beat San Diego State. Ending San Diego State's 26-game win streak, giving their first loss of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a week away from the conference championships. If San Diego State would have stayed perfect, they would have an undefeated season. But unfortunately, no go. So, hey, it's what it is, though. You gotta love it. I mean, I just gotta say, that's a big victory there. San Diego State now, I mean, they are dominating the Mountain West. I mean, look at this, guys. They're 15-1 in the Mountain West. They're 26-1 in the regular season. The closest team to them is Utah State, which is 11-5 in the Mountain West, and 22-7 in the regular season. So, they'll be in the tournament. But it's just a bummer they couldn't go defeated. It's kind of like one of those 18-0 things, you know. Patriots, Giants, 2008. What did I say that? Anyway, so let's go ahead and get some of these upsets around the way. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to compliment UNLV one more time, because the same exact day, just about an hour before, what happened on Saturday? Well, the ladies would be hosting. Okay, so the VS Arena, of course, if that's what they still call it, this is where UNLV would defeat San Diego State. And then the ladies at the same exact time were in... they were at UNLV, and wouldn't you know it? Seriously, wouldn't you know it? I mean, this is just a double whammy, and you know what? I applaud both these teams. So first, the Lady Rebels will defeat the Lady Aztecs 72-76 at UNLV, and then just a little bit later would be the upset that would shock the basketball world, 66-63, where unranked UNLV will defeat number 4 San Diego State. So pretty sweet, right? I'm just saying that was a really cool. This is really big ups for the Rebels. They both these teams, the Lady Rebels and the Rebels, got a very good. Very, very, very good victories this past weekend, and I really do think that this is exciting. Like, it really is for this entire team. So, anyway, with that said, let's see. Actually, let's just keep on chugging along with some of these sports around here. Also, back to softball, we had it's actually a pretty good victory. I forgot what invitation this was. We had number 19 Missouri taking on number 5 Arizona, and you know what? I know it wasn't extremely competitive, but a 2-0 victory is still, pretty good. I mean, regardless, Arizona played really well against the number 19 team in the country. The Lady Wildcats got the 2-0 victory there over Mizzou. And then on to baseball, as a matter of fact. So we're going to intertwine all of these. On to baseball here. Number 25, Oregon State will take on number 6, Mississippi State. And what was a very good matchup here. Overall, guys, Mississippi State, we all know, has been an incredibly tough team over the years, as well as Arizona. Oregon State. Oregon State actually is kind of rebuilding. They kind of haven't had the best go. Like, personally, Oregon State is what? Okay, sorry about that, y'all. That was really, really weird. Had a little blip there in the audio. Don't know what happened. My computer just wants to freeze the wrong moments. So, sorry about that, y'all. But, okay. So, where were we? Okay, I think we were still on baseball. That was really weird. I'm sorry, guys. So, okay, let's just continue on here with some softball. We look at the Mary Netter Collegiate Classic, which is usually a very neat tournament. Well, it's not really a tournament, but I love it. I really love this because you see a lot of the biggest names going at it. And this past week, Louisiana would take on number 14. So number 10, Louisiana taking on number 14, Oklahoma State, which was a very good game. And Oklahoma State ended up winning this one 1-0. This shows you how the Cowgirls have really continued to improve. Very tough team here. And then moving on this past week, also Arizona, as I mentioned, they took on number 9 Florida. Number 9 Florida has also been a powerhouse, and we talked about them a little bit before. And Florida will actually upset number 5 Arizona 3-2 in a very close game there. So, we had a little bit of Ivy League action. Same thing, women's and men's both played this weekend. Princeton at Harvard and Harvard at Princeton. The women would play Harvard. Well, Princeton would play Harvard there, of course, in that. And this was interesting how they both ended up. Okay, so the men would actually defeat Harvard, the Crimson of Harvard, would defeat Princeton 61-60. Pretty good game there, right? But Princeton, the ladies would deliver, in their number 25, Princeton, by the way, 66-45 over Harvard. So, a little bit of back and forth action there. Moving on. And then we got, of course, jump on over to the series of the week in college baseball. Number 10, Florida versus number 7, Miami. And this was just a rout on all sides. I mean, there were some close games, but in 11 innings, the first game will go to 11 innings, okay? Florida defeats Miami 2-1 in 11 innings. You got to love the fact that this rivalry is everything you'd think it would be. In game number 2, Florida does it again, this time in 10 innings. It took 11 innings the first time and 10 innings the second time. And what happens? Florida pulls it off 7-4. And then yesterday, game 3, they will go at it. And guess what? Does anybody want to take a guess of what happened? Florida will pull it off yet again. Florida sweeps the series. And they continue to show how good they really are. This is a very good baseball team, and honestly, I will not doubt we don't see them in the College World Series coming up this year. Their pitching is very strong. They got bats. They got everything you need. So seriously, I'm going to really be excited to continue to follow these Gators all throughout the season coming up. So anyway, let's go ahead and dig on back now into a little more softball. This was actually a pretty good game as well. Number 21, James Madison, and number 18, Georgia, will go at it. This right here was the Georgia Classic, and the Lady Bulldogs defeated. And this, well, I don't want to say defeated. They obliterated. This is goes to show you a little bit of lack of pitching and good bats, I guess. But 19-11, probably the highest scoring game of the weekend, at least from what I know. But yeah, the Lady Bulldogs there will get a nice victory over James Madison, the Lady Dukes. Very good game for them. And then, of course, let's see here. We can also trail now back to hockey, because I think this was a very good game as well. The Blues and the Stars had an incredibly good game. Well, actually, I guess the Blues did. The Blues, last year's champion, will show that they're nobody's fool, man. They beat down they beat down the Stars 5-1, which shows you how good this Blues team continues to be. All right, that's all there is to it. Then we get on into some women's basketball from a couple days back. Number 15, Oregon State taking on number 4, Stanford. This was actually a really good game as well, because let me see here. Yeah, it came down to 3 points, but Stanford will pull off the victory. This also to show you how good the Lady Beavers are, because really, this is 4 versus 15. You wouldn't expect it to be super close. This is the number 4 team in the country we're talking about, right? Oregon State gave them all they could handle. It's a 3-point loss. But I'll tell you right now, Stanford continuing to be strong in the Pac-12. We're definitely going to see them coming up in the tournament this season. So, moving forward to a little bit more of around the world soccer in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur, after that loss last week in the Champions League, will take on Chelsea, and they will fall on their face yet again. 2-1, Chelsea will win this thing at home. Chelsea right now really making a push towards that top of the Premier League. As a matter of fact, going on over to the Premier League, the table right now, we have here Liverpool leading with, let's see where we at. So, leading here with 76 points. So, we kind of already know what's up, right? I'm just saying, you kind of already have your champion. But Manchester City with 57, Leicester with 50, Chelsea with 44, and Manchester United with 41. So we have our clear-cut champion, unless something miraculous happens. Strange events week here, y'all. Strange happenings week on IE Sports Radio this week. We'll get to that momentarily. But yeah, that would be a strange happening for sure if Manchester City would actually catch Liverpool, which that's not going to happen. Tottenham, though, continues to show that they're so close, yet so far. So a big victory there for Chelsea. Also in the Bundesliga this past weekend, Leipzig. How about this victory, man? 5-0 over Schalke. Yeah, that you can always kind of bet on that Leipzig is going to bring it. That's what I'm telling you, man. This is a very tough team, and they continue to show that every single year. What was it last year? They had Bayern Munich on the ropes. Unfortunately, they didn't win it, but they had a really, really good shot at it. They're currently second right now, beneath, guess who? Bayern Munich. 48 points here, and Munich has 49. Leipzig with 48. Okay, then you have Dortmund with 45. Let's see, Mönchengladbach with 43, and Leverkusen with 43. I love that we actually have a close fight here in the Bundesliga, because sometimes these leagues just get there's a little too much sometimes, which is annoying that, we get one clear-cut winner early on, kind of like Liverpool right now. But I am really excited that we actually have ourselves a good little fight. Will Bayern Munich win it again? We will see. But Leipzig, I think, has a good chance of winning this year. So, okay, now bouncing back to softball. I told you we are everywhere today, y'all. Bouncing back to softball, going back to that Marionetter Classic. I'll tell you what, this was a great game. We had number 2 Washington taking on number 3 Oklahoma. this was a pretty good matchup, and we got the result that we thought we were going to get, except with way more runs. Number 3, Oklahoma didn't really look like themselves at all. Washington ran that score up like Alabama would do in football. I mean, seriously, Washington 12-2 runs here. Washington absolutely put on a clinic and improved how strong they really are. This is not anything for Oklahoma, nobody to worry about, but I will say right now, overall, Oklahoma has an extremely talented Washington has an extremely talented pitching bullpen, and really their bats are on fire. So very good stuff here from Washington. And then so let's see if we can get any more softball for the weekend. Also, this past week here, Florida number 9 Florida will take on number 1 UCLA, and unlike their volleyball team, Florida has UCLA looks pretty good. They will actually go to 8 innings, where UCLA will win this one 5-4. So really good stuff here for the UCLA Bruins, the Lady Bruins, as they continue to look pretty darn good. And then let's see here. I think that's actually all the softball for the week right now. So let's get on over now to the top. Let's see here. Where are we at? Okay. Top 25. This has not been updated also, but from last week, I don't think it's been updated. Maybe it has, but I don't know. So from 25-21, we have Virginia Tech, Mississippi State, Arkansas, South Carolina, and James Madison. From 20 to 16, Texas Tech, Missouri, Georgia, Oregon, and Arizona State. From 15 to 11, Minnesota, Oklahoma State, Alabama, Tennessee, and Kentucky. From 10 to 6, and actually it's got an update right now that Vontaze Burfict is actually going to be reinstated into the NFL after his 12-game suspension. So that is courtesy of the NFL the NFL app. So welcome back, Vontaze Burfict. Then we have from 10 to 6, Louisiana, Florida, Florida State, LSU, and Michigan. And then from 5 to 1, Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, Washington, and UCLA. Oklahoma might be falling out of there. Arizona might be moving up. And UCLA looks to stay the same because they are a freaking powerhouse. So that, at the moment, is a little bit of softball, and that will end it for today. But let's see here. Let's take a look now into, and Terrence actually said he's tuning into absolutely, man. The ceremony for Gianna and Kobe Bryant. So may they rest in everlasting peace. Poor things, man. It's still heartbreaking, but I mean, it's tough there. But okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and move it on over into a little bit of. Okay, so let's finish off with basketball for the day. We actually had a pretty good game this past weekend, where number 3, this is another one of those big upsets. Number 3, Kansas defeats Baylor 64-61. This goes to show you how good Kansas really is. This is a damn good Kansas team, guys. Baylor has held that top spot for so long, and really, it's due to the fact that they've been a potent powerhouse. Now, my biggest thought on this Kansas team is that their ability to hang with top opponents, no matter what, has just kept them around. I mean, they kind of play at everybody's level, but is what it is. Regardless, the new rankings this week are in, and we'll take a look at those right now. So from 25 to 21, Houston, Michigan State, Ohio State, Texas Tech, and Colorado. From 20 to 16. We have here West Virginia, Michigan, Iowa, BYU, and Penn State. From 15 to 11, Auburn, Oregon, Seton Hall, Villanova, and Louisville. From 10 to 6, we have Creighton, Maryland, let's see here, Kentucky, Duke, and Florida State. And from 5 to 1, San Diego State will actually fall one spot, which I understand. Dayton, how about the Dayton Flyers? I haven't seen the Dayton Flyers up this high in a very long time. They're at number 4. They'll jump up one spot. Gonzaga will drop 1 to 3. Baylor will also drop 1 to 3. And guess what? Kansas in the house, y'all. Kansas will be pretty strong. They jump up 2 spots. As rightfully so, they are now number 1 at 24-3 on the season. So congratulations to the Kansas Jayhawks there. Also, a little bit of lacrosse news. This is a pretty good for women's lacrosse. We had some pretty good games this past weekend, as we have number 10 Loyola defeating number 3 Florida 17-6. How about those Lady Greyhounds, y'all? Pretty good job there. Also, the old school, I won't say it's a rivalry, but a good ACC battle here for sure. Maryland just blowing the doors off of North Carolina. Number 4 Maryland over number 1 North Carolina. How about this upset right here? 19-6. The Lady Terps were on one, y'all. Also staying in women's lacrosse. Number 8 Virginia over number 9 Princeton, 12-10, in what seemed to be a very good game there as well. And then we continue on with actually some men's lacrosse as well. This was the game of the week. Number 7 North Carolina over number 15 Johns Hopkins, and this seemed to be pretty good for the most part, and then North Carolina just kind of took off, but 17-10, didn't get a chance to see the game, but big ups there to the Tar Heels. So we got a little bit of, moving forward for them. Let's see here. And then, of course, the last lacrosse game, I think, of the weekend, yes, here it is, was Syracuse Orange, number 7, taking on number 6 Northwestern. And, well, Syracuse, they know basketball, and they certainly know lacrosse. And they got a nice victory here, 16-11. Over number 6 Northwestern. So upset complete there for the Lady Orange in lacrosse. And there you have a little bit of lacrosse for the week. And then, of course, we will dive into the final parts of today's show as our hour of power is coming to a close. But in the NHL, how about this, man? The Panthers and the Golden Knights. I just talked about how these Golden Knights have been showing every sign of just being a strong, talented team. And really, you know what? I'll tell you. I'm telling you, they've been leaps and bounds better. Last year, they were off. 2 years ago, they got all the way to the final and fell. This past year, they had every chance to get there, but they just completely wouldn't even show up. And this week, another big victory, 5-3 over the Panthers. So the Panthers have really surged. So really good job for them this year, but not enough to take out the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights was again 5-3 at home as they defend I think it's T-Mobile Center there. So, big ups to them. Also, a little basketball action, because how about this big ups? Another upset on the day. Number 23, BYU defeats number 2, Gonzaga. This was crazy in basketball, because you're not expecting, and then, of course, as you see, Gonzaga fell on the rankings. 91-78. This wasn't just a buzzer-beating loss. This is actually a big victory here for BYU, so big ups to them on that victory. As we talked about earlier, a little bit of NBA news. The only NBA I got for y'all is the one game that mattered to me this weekend, man. How about them Lakers, y'all? What a victory. I'm so proud of this team. The Lakers defeat the Celtics 114-112 in a game that I was so happy for, y'all. We just got beat down a couple weeks ago in Boston, and, well, now we looked pretty strong. And I really hope that this is a finals preview. We shall see, but my gosh, what a series that'll be. So let's go ahead and move it on now back into women's basketball. Number 1, South Carolina took on number 14, Kentucky. As you know, South Carolina, they're number 1 for a reason, 67-58. Not really a competitive game to the most point, but the Lady Gamecocks continue to show how good they are. And back into hockey, I just want to point this out real quick. The Pens versus the Capitals. Alex Ovechkin, now the number 1 scorer of all time. Amazing job, man. Ovi doing his thing in hockey. Big ups here for the Capitals. They win this game over the Pens. But this past week, man, Ovechkin has been incredible, man. So congratulations to one of the greatest players to ever play hockey, man. I'll tell you that right now. So speaking of hockey, we had an interesting little tie here between number 2 and number 9 this past week. A little WCHA hockey in women's hockey, NCAA hockey, that is. And number 2, Wisconsin will will tie. Yes, 5-5. If 5 goals weren't enough on one side, 5 wouldn't be enough on the other side. What a crazy game here as Minnesota Duluth and Wisconsin will draw in this one. So, really good game there. And then, as we know, we got to get into a little bit of my side of the woods, my neck of the woods. I'm so freaking excited, y'all, for my CBU Lancers. On Friday, I was actually at the game, and it was really annoying to see us fall apart like how we did. 7-4, but I'll tell you what, Troy Percival's son, I think his name was Caleb Percival, this kid is lightning on the mound. He is going to be, I hope he goes to the Angels one day, because this guy was pitching freaking fire. Like, it wasn't easy to hit off with this guy, but I'll tell you what, we had a pretty good game, and such a great game played by both teams. Regardless, we just weren't enough. I mean, CBU, up to that point, last year we got swept 3-0, or maybe it was 4-0, I forgot what the series, because this year we have a three-game series, then one, like, out of nowhere later on in the season. But for this game, I don't know if that was last year or not, how it went, but we have never beaten UCR at the D1 level, and, well, last night it happened. 3-1! What's up? That's right, y'all. CBU wins 3-1 in what was a very good game. I am so proud of this team. And really, I mean, incredible job by everybody. Got a big shout out to, man, to Chris Barcia. I'm sorry, Barisa. Sorry, that's how you pronounce his name. He picked 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, and 4 strikeouts. He did really well last night. So, really excited to see this guy continue to pitch. And, yeah, we looked really good last night. So, I'm very proud of this team. We looked really good. And honestly, it's just going to continue to get better, I hope. So, one more game tonight. I will be at UCR as we get ready to take on the UCR Highlanders one more time in this... in this series, well, at least for the 3-game series, and we got the 4-game series coming on up. So, with that said, y'all, let's go ahead and bounce on over now into a little bit of motorsports. Got to give a big shout out in the Arizona Nationals yesterday. How about Steve Torrence shows up to the Arizona Nationals? He was not at the Winter Nationals in Pomona 2 weeks ago, but here he was getting a victory in Top Fuel. Yet another victory for him. Tommy Johnson Jr. will win in Funny Car and Pro Stock. We have Erica Enders, which of course her amazing career. She has been amazing. So great to see her there. Get a victory, and congratulations to all of the winners of the Wallies yesterday in the Arizona Nationals. And then yesterday in Las Vegas, an ending that was going to be so awesome, but then it ended in a caution. It's okay. I loved it anyway. It was still a great race. And, well, one of the Pennzoil cars, I mean, really, it's so fitting for the Pennzoil car to get the victory, right? Joey Logano will earn his 24th career victory. Joey Logano will win his 24th career victory and his first of the season as he wins the 2020 Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas. Congratulations to Joey Logano. Big victory there. Certainly a great victory, so hats off to them. And, of course, just paying tribute here. Taryn in the chat room saying that victory yesterday was for Kobe, and it really was, man. So I'm really, really, really happy that the Lakers were able to win that victory and get such a beautiful win. I mean, seriously, it was a beautiful victory, and it felt like Kobe was there, man. So that last 3-pointer, it could have went in. I forgot who shot it, but, man, that thing could have went in. It was kind of scary the way it looked, but... I'm just really excited for the Lakers being able to pull that off, and really, I'm so saddened still. I mean, it's going to be there it's going to always be here, with Kobe, all of us showing love to Kobe, but still, and Gianna, of course. But I'll tell you what, his spirit continues to reign through these sports, and I love it, because it just wasn't just basketball. It was a sports world of how many teams loved him and how much he loved sports as well. So, as always, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant and Gianna Bryant. So, a little bit of the craziness yesterday, because I want to just talk about some of these upsets. I was having fun on Twitter. I really was, because this was absolutely incredibly insane. Like, I don't even care. We had so many freaking upsets yesterday. Actually, it was all through the weekend. But man, did we not have some crazy upsets. Of course, before we go ahead and get into the fight, I just want to talk about all these upsets, man. Number 7. Actually, no, it wasn't number 7. It was Notre Dame will defeat Arizona State 7-3 in softball this last past weekend. So I know this is one game there, but big victory there for them. Then Hawaii, as Darren was talking about on Saturday, their men's volleyball team is pretty dang good, but their beach volleyball team is pretty dang good as well, as they will knock off Number 3 LSU, 3-2. How about that? So, quite the upset there on Saturday. So a big victory there for Hawaii, defeating number 3 LSU, knocking them off. Then we had in men's hockey, St. Cloud State will knock off number 1 North Dakota. Yeah, St. Cloud State's not even freaking ranked. I mean, they were last year. I don't know what happened to them this year. The Huskies really fell off. But man, talk about that victory there. They will win 2-1, and they will knock off number 1 St. Cloud State. Down go the Fighting Hawks. What a victory there. And you just gotta love it. Of course, we talked about San Diego State losing to UNLV, which was, like, I think one of the biggest upsets you can imagine, right? And, I mean, yeah, so there's a couple of upsets this past weekend that was absolutely insane. I mean, really absolutely insane. So, I just want to get into a few of those upsets there, and big ups to everybody who were able to pull off those upsets. So, anyway, with that, let's see here. Oh, also big shout out to CBU Golf. They followed me back, yay. It says here, let's see here. Where are we? I just wanted to point one of these out because they did follow me, and they had a pretty cool stat this past weekend. And I wanted to share that really quick, and now I can't find it on my feed. Wonderful. Well, that sucks, but it's all good. I'll give them a shout out next week. But let's take a quick look here. Got to give a big shout out as well to both the women's and men's CBU basketball teams because they looked pretty good this weekend, if I must say so myself. Pretty good game. We both defeated this past weekend. Well, actually, one was on the road. Of course, the men were on the road and the ladies were home. And let's get to those really quick, because I do want to show them some love, because they have had, their seasons haven't been that great, y'all. Seriously, they just haven't. But you know what? Overall, yeah, I love my team, and I always, want to show my support. But yeah, so yesterday for the men's team, let's see here, big victory, 95-53. That was on Saturday over Chicago State, and then for the ladies, it was also a victory over Chicago State, and that was also on Saturday, 103-68. So big ups there to CBU. Congratulations to both those teams. They're getting nice victories last week. The season's coming to a close. My first game of the indoor league season. I'm so bummed because I'm excited I get to play. I really am, but I'm torn because I love CBU homecoming, and I'm so sad. I'm bummed out that I can't be there. Sucks though. I mean, is what it is, but I'm kind of bummed. But of course, we playing right during that time, but it's all good. I mean, hey, I know they'll get that victory there, but okay. So with that said, too, got to show some love, as I mentioned, to golf, because this is what I wanted to. Let's see here. Okay, so there was one of these that I just really wanted to point out, and gosh darn it, now I can't find it. Gosh darn it. All right, well, I'm so bummed. I'm so bummed. I'm trying to roll up and down my Twitter feed right now to find, where these are, and now I can't find it. But anyway, yeah, so big ups y'all to all the CBU teams. So I love my teams. I definitely love my teams. And as you can't, if you can't tell, right? So that's pretty much that for, oh wait, I think I found it. Did I find it? 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 I did not. Crap. Okay. Well, I tried. Oh, no, there it is. Found it. So, yeah. It says the Lancers, so looking here on their Twitter, the Lancers recorded 17, let's see here, during the round of GCU Spring Invite to finish one stroke off the lead with a tournament best 2 under par, 286 team score. Samantha Martinez, Sophia Chabon, I want to butcher her name, Chabon, and Christina Abramova, I believe, Abrahamova, all finished Sunday's round under par. So congratulations to all those ladies. Congratulations to CBU Women's Golf. Big ups. They did a great job this past week. Gotta show them some love. Gotta give credit where credit's due, right? So congratulations there. And there you have it. So, anyway, as you can see, today's show was a little unorthodox. It was a little more scatterbrained than I thought it was, but it was going to be, as you know, all these assignments and everything getting thrown all over the place. I just kind of got to get the show wherever I can fit it. So, it wasn't the best organization. I'll do my best to get that more next week, but I think we have a good time for this show every week. Maybe we'll be here, maybe we won't. But anyway, with that said, y'all, it's pretty much gonna come close to the end here, but we got one thing to talk about, and of course is the fight. Okay, overall, this was just a beatdown. I've heard before, I watched that video where Deontay Wilder said he doesn't like to run. And, well, he faced a boxer. A damn good boxer. Who has lots of power. And who has a pretty good jaw. And who is in pretty good shape. This is what happens when you fight somebody that overall just has power, and who personally just has, he had a lot of momentum going into this fight. He had a lot of fans there, and overall, y'all, you can totally see how bad, okay, you can totally see how bad Fury wanted it. I mean, he even licked the shoulder or the neck of Deontay Wilder during the fight because he wanted to taste blood. He said it apparently in an interview, or maybe in a press conference. But dude was incredible, man. I mean, seriously, dude was incredible. He fought so well, and he did really well. So I'm so proud of this dude for being able to win such a big fight. And personally, he just dominated. He dominated. He did everything he said he was going to do. Wilder couldn't do anything. Wilder had nowhere to go. He was completely being mauled. The clinching was wearing him down. As I think Lennox Lewis said, or I'm not sure which one of the commentators said it, but the bigger man's always going to win in the clinch. And the bigger man, of course, as I was talking to my buddy Alex yesterday, Wilder is basically like a tight end or a really big receiver. If he was smaller, he wouldn't be so big. Fury is a damn offensive lineman. He's like a left tackle. I know there's not much different. I mean, sometimes, I know they always say tight end's too small for lineman, but too big for receiver. Yeah, but that's pretty much where Wilder's at. And he took on a truck, okay? Fury is a big dude. And not saying that Deontay Wilder's not, but he just wasn't prepared. He didn't have a good game plan. He thought he was going to knock him out with that big right hand. And it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. I mean, Fury dominated the entire fight. They came out swinging. They came out strong, both these guys. But it just wasn't enough on Wilder's part. And Fury absolutely dominated. So overall, you can't take anything away from Fury, man. This guy, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, by way of stoppage by TKO in the 7th round, and the new WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury. This is what I'm talking about. This is a champion who wanted it, and he did exactly that. He beat the hell out of Wilder. And Wilder, though, at the end, I got to say, both these guys are a class act. They may be rivals, and they may not stand each other half the time, or more than most of the time. But I got to tell you right now, you gotta love the class between these two guys, because Wilder even said, the better fighter won, and Fury said that Wilder is a warrior, and he was, because he lasted for a long time. I know Wilder was upset because his corner pretty much, they pulled the plug on the fight, and I get that, and I understand that warrior as that warrior mentality that Wilder said he wanted to go out in a shield, and I understand that. But seriously, fight another day, brother. I mean, he got beat, man. He was getting beat pretty bad, and he could have been severely injured. He was bleeding from his ear, I think. I mean, he was beat, y'all. He got beat down very bad. Niggas was a very tough go for Wilder. So, overall, Fury was in fact a better boxer. But class there by Fury at the end, saying that once again that Wilder was a warrior and that he will be back and that he will be champion again. But you know what? Fury just showed how good of a boxer he is, and I'll tell you what, I mean, anything I've ever said bad about the guy, I take it back, because he is absolutely a great boxer. I don't really care for all the theatrics, I don't, because I think that's like more for the WWE, but I guess there's nothing wrong with being a little bit animated, you know, being a little animated when you're playing, or fighting, or doing any sport, so I know I am, so I shouldn't be a hypocrite, but I just gotta tell you right now, this was a very good game, I mean, a very good fight for Fury, and he gets totally dominated, and he dominated every aspect of this fight. I had it 6 rounds to 0 heading into the 7th round, and it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing to see how well this guy, he must train ridiculously. I mean, his knowledge of boxing, he had a game plan, he said he had a game plan, and he came and executed that game plan. He did everything he could to win that thing, so big ups to him, and a big victory there for Tyson Fury, the new WBC heavyweight champion of the world. So, also, with that said, I jump in the chat room real quick. Terrence says here, hit the applause button one more time for Vanessa Bryant. Absolutely, he says here, she gave the amazing tribute to Kobe Bryant and Gianna. I'm so heartbroken for her, and I think we all are, so, one more time. Vanessa Bryant, this is for you. Actually, forever, that is for you and your amazing family. And, of course, your 2 angels now looking down from heaven above, Gianna and Kobe Bryant. So, with that said, y'all, strange happenings week here on iSports Radio. And I just looked at a quick article, because I wanted to share a couple of these with you from Bleacher Report. This is super cool. Kind of funny stuff. Maybe not really funny, but just, it's strange happenings week here on iSports Radio, y'all. And this article from Bleacher Report, I just had to Google it because, of course, time constraints kind of got me earlier today. But this article, let's see here, was written in December of 2015. So this is going to go back a couple of years, but written by Laura Depta. That's Laura, D-E-P-T-A. And she put 12 really strange in-game sports moments up to that point. Of course, well, 12, I guess added the up to that point, but the article is titled 12 Really Strange In-Game Sports Moments. And I just wanted to highlight a few of these because it was kind of funny. So, first one, JJ Watt here. She brings up here that, let's see here, Houston Texans defensive end J.J. Watt is becoming a somewhat regular exception. He caught 3 touchdown passes in 2014 and nearly snagged another thrown his way in November. So, I love it because she says here, okay, this isn't exactly the craziest thing in sports, but it's definitely unusual in the modern era. And it is, because now we're starting to see this happen where these, where defensive ends are starting to buzz more. I mean, starting to put them in coverage. You're seeing these athletes that are, these guys are running 4.6, 4.7, maybe even 4.5, like Clowney did. I forgot what JJ Watt ran, but I'm just saying, pretty crazy there. But next up, one of the strange happenings that I thought was pretty funny that she put here was pulling the goalie with 13 minutes left. This is pretty funny. Okay, hear me out. So, pulling the goalie is a legitimate strategy for a late game goal in hockey. But pulling the goalie with over 10 minutes left, she put in 2014, Colorado Avalanche coach Patrick Roy, I don't know if he's still there, pulled his man with 13 minutes remaining. It sounds crazy, but if there was ever a situation that was called for that, that was it. The Avalanche trailed 5-1 and had a 5-on-3 advantage. Pulling goalie Simon Varlamov, hopefully I didn't butcher that name, gave Colorado a 6-on-3 advantage, at least temporarily. They still went on to lose the game 6-2, but it was worth a shot. And honestly, it really was. Like, that's actually kind of funny. They had no freaking goalie. They had an empty net. And they were down to 5-1, so they only gave up one more goal, so that defense was on it. So, hey, why not, right? That's a strange happening, because, like, screw it. Like, we're probably not going to win this game, but damn it, we're going to fight. So, I like that a lot. That was pretty funny. And then, of course, there was another, one more. Where the hell was it? This was a pretty funny, strange happening because, and where was it? Damn it, where did I see it? Where is it? Okay, this one I just want to share. This one real quick. Letting the other team score a touchdown. And this... Okay, this is going to be a little complicated, but I'm going to go through it. So just put, why would a football team ever allow its opponent to score a touchdown in a big game? Well, if there were a fact at the end of the game, a team might want to ensure enough clock is left for a rebuttal. It might if it's quarterback Tom Brady. Such a case was at Super Bowl... Oh, well, in 2012, of course, that's right. With 57 seconds remaining, New England Patriots left a wide open hole for the New York Giants, running back Ahmad Bradshaw to run through. Though Giants quarterback Eli Manning instructed him not to, and though he tried to stop himself, at least at the last second, Bradshaw scored and put his team up 21-17. Ideally, the Giants would have run some more time off the clock before scoring. Luckily for them, Brady's comeback drive did come up short. Okay, now, yes, this is when the Giants did win this game. However, yes, that is something that you will see sometimes. If your offense is really powerful and you trust them and you know they can score and you see holes in their defense and you see a team that can get down the field and score, well then guess what? They're going to do that sometimes. They'll just stand and let the guy score. However, it did come back to bite them because, well, they gave up the lead, and that was pretty much it. I mean, they may have scored anyway, but regardless, good job for the Giants defense, but that is something that you will see from time to time, which is pretty much it. But this one's a little strange at the end, and this is kind of messed up, but I want to bring it up here. 149 own goals. There is no strategic purpose to scoring 149 own goals in a soccer game. However, when a Malagasy club, or, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that name, but did it in 2002, it wasn't for strategy, it was to make a point, which is pretty crazy, okay? So watch this. According to The Guardian, players from Stade Olympique, I think, I don't know how to pronounce his name, guys, but intentionally scored on their own net 149 times to protest what they thought was biased refereeing. Crazy, right? SOE officially lost the game 149-0, and the coach and 4 players were suspended. Honestly, guys, that's standing up for what you believe in. So, seriously, if there's some kind of something that they feel was just, like, wronged or somehow, some way, seriously, that is actually pretty brave. So, they scored 149 times on themselves, which is pretty crazy. But if you think about it, they did it for a cause. So, I think that's actually a great note to leave the show on. I know we went over today, my apologies, but I'll tell you right now, that's some pretty cool stuff. So, the rest of the article, if you want to check that out, is on Bleacher Report. Once again, it is 12 really strange in-game sports moments by Laura Depta, that's LauradEPTA, written on December 8th, 2015. So, check that out. I know it's a little dated, but still 5 years ago, but regardless, that seems pretty, or almost 5 years ago, but still, pretty cool article right there. And if you want to check out more of the crazy happenings on there that she reviewed, well, check it out. So, anyway, y'all, with that said, that is our time for today. My gosh, it has been a little bit longer than expected. My apologies. But today was a little unorganized. And that next week should be a little more organized, so we'll be good. But anyway, with that said, we have so much that you can check us out on now. Check out our brand new revamped iesportsradio.com. Check us out there. We have plenty. We have the new schedule on there. We have our Fan of the Month page. We have, what other stuff do we have on there? All of our podcasts, our blog, jump on our forums, show us some love there. We have a brand new newsletter, of course, the Extra Points. Hopefully you want to check that out pretty soon. We'll have another one coming up next month. Also, we have that. Of course, check out what's going on around IE Sports Radio every single month. We'll send out a few of those news bulletins every week. So we have a lot of really cool stuff going on. Of course, catch us on Twitter at IE Sports Radio, also on Instagram at IE Sports Radio as well. We also have our Instagram updates page on our website as well. Catch us on Facebook at IE Sports Radio. Certainly give us a like. We'd certainly like that. And of course, you can follow us all. You can follow us all on all those social media platforms. Check us out on pretty much every podcast platform except for Pandora, which I'm trying really hard to get us back on there. And of course, check out all of our awesome shows throughout the week. Ladies and gentlemen, we are freaking everywhere. Like, seriously, we are everywhere, and we are doing our thing. Check out our live calls page. Of course, big shout out to Matt Owens and Seth Eves and Mr. Matt White of USRM. They really do a great job over there, and show them some love. Mr. Pierre Moss, as a matter of fact, assured me a little bit ago that he will be calling let's see here. Rangers at Canadians on Thursday night at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time on IE Sports Radio. So make sure to catch that coming up this week. Live call here on our Mixer page on IE Sports Radio. So make sure to catch Pierre, show him some love. Should be a great game, and that will be that. So with that said, y'all, my gosh, it has been a fun one. Went a little bit over, like I said, today, but tons of sports coming your way, and we should have some fun with that. So big ups to Taryn, by the way. Rodriguez, big shout out to you, brother, in the chat room, and Mr. Gabriel Montoya. This is a great show there. Hey, great job by you as well, Taryn. Make sure to catch Set Point tomorrow, once again, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern, for the latest in men's volleyball and beach volleyball and all things volleyball with Taryn. So great job there, as always, and to all of my colleagues. With that said, I will see y'all tomorrow for Goal Line Stand at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun talking some more XFL. With that said, y'all, you know the drill. Cue the music, because we're out of here. Alright, y'all, that is gonna do it. This has been a fun one. It really has. I enjoyed today's show, even though it was like all over the place. But it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of the main points out of the way. Upsets galore. And we will get more onto that next week. As always, stay tuned for plenty more coming up on IE Sports Radio today. We got Let's Whine About Sports coming up at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Mr. Mike Pat will be delivering you the latest in sports. I know he's talking a lot about Ovechkin, of course. Surely one of his favorite players, because of course he's a Capitals fan. And hey, he'll be talking, the new wine will be Malbec Argentina. I don't even know what that is. But that will be the wine of the day that he'll be talking. Of course, stay tuned after Let's Whine About Sports with Mike Pat for The Unfiltered Truth with Phil Jones and Phil Robinson III, as they'll be talking Raiders football. And of course, bring on some IE Sports Radio Strange Happenings week on both those shows, on Let's Whine About Sports and on The Unfiltered Truth. And well, that will do it for another day. But guess what? We got plenty more coming on, so be ready for another great day on IE Sports Radio. Once again, you are listening to The Final Moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. That will do it, and we'll see you next week. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.